morning, good morning, good morning. I love that card. It says, in the beginning, the universe was created. This made a lot of people angry and was widely regarded as a bad move. And this is great because I picked out the title before I even did this. I did the title, switched over for the thumbnail, and this is the card I got. Good morning, y'all. Celeste Silver Cord here with a morning message of cards and coffee. Yeah, that's too funny how that always seems to work out. I'm thinking a lot about the difference between the balance of when to let go and when to take control, right? Because it seems like a lot of times the more we try to take control, the more things get out of balance. Also, at the same time, it's like, when do we allow just things to flow? Because sometimes you need to let go and you need to release and you need to let things flow in order to see where it is you're going. And I think it's great that it brought up Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I'll go ahead and give you guys a little rundown of that movie while I'm dealing out some cards. So the movie is about this guy, right? And it starts out with him, and his house is about to be bulldozed over. Now, his friend shows up, and it turns out like his friend is an alien from another planet, and his friend shows up, and he's completely oblivious to all the equipment and shit that's laying around. He's like, come on, we need to go. And he's like, go where? They're about to tear down my house. And he convinces him to leave, and he tells him that the Earth is about to be demolished. And they manage on getting off the planet just at the right time and everything else. And the whole movie really is all about the improbability of things and synchronicities. Right? So he ends up in space. A girl that he met at a party and blew it with ends up being on the spaceship too. And just all these synchronicities play out the whole movie. And it really is a matter, I think it really does focus on, how much he had to let things flow. At the end of the movie, he gets more into a flow instead of trying to control situations. But there's a lot of great metaphors in that movie if you guys wanted to check it out. But yeah, it's pretty much in the end, it's like they're the last two humans to survive. Well, not at the end, but go check it. I don't want to ruin the whole movie for y'all. I want you to go watch it. Don't get deterred by the dolphin sequence in the beginning. The beginning of the movie is dolphins singing and dancing, and they're like, goodbye, thanks for all the fish, but we're leaving because we're actually like space creatures. And we've been trying to communicate with y'all, but you don't want to listen. Mm-hmm. Wow, I knew I was late today, but I know. I think that's been a big lesson, especially for everybody for the last few years, is when to try to force control. Good morning. Good morning. It's been a while, sweetheart. How you feeling? I never know who it is until somebody says something. No, it's just getting into the letting things flow and when to take control. I know you've been dealing with a lot of that lately, too. Owning what you actually have control over to what you don't. I think that was a big message that, awesome. Nice to get out of the bed, I'm sure. That is wonderful news. I'm glad you're starting to feel better. Told you guys get through the retrograde season and things would start smoothing out. That's why I was talking so much about the balance and control of the letting it flow and then when to take control, because I know me personally, before even the pandemic and stuff hit, the universe was just like every time, like, I don't know. It's like you hit this point where you realize that you have the ability to create around you and you do have some control of your reality and law of attraction and things of that nature, and you want to take control of everything. And then it's like the universe just kind of keeps batting you in the head with a stick like a whack-a-mole, like, hold on, wait a second. And it's about allowing divine timing to play out too. And divine timing is going with the flow. It was like, what did I hear somebody say on the radio the other morning? It was like, if you're already running late, there's no sense in rushing. You can't be late twice. But at the same time, never moving anywhere is never going to get you anything. That's that whole, you can't leave footprints in the sand of time sitting on your butt. Who wants to leave butt prints in the sands of time? But I think a lot of people, when they hit that point, when you realize that you can create your own reality, at first, everybody immediately goes for the ideas of grandeur, right? I want to, millionaire in a super house, and I want to ride jet skis, and da-da-da-da, and I want to do crazy stuff like that, and I want to travel the world, and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, you don't even comprehend the amount of bullshit that goes into doing all of that, right? The amount of people you have to invest in order to invest in and have around you to help you maintain and manage that amount of junk. Right? If you're gonna have millions of dollars and own a multi-million-dollar house, you're gonna need an accountant. You're gonna need all kinds of people that you trust helping you manage all that freaking money. You don't think about that. You want to be famous. You don't think about needing security and bodyguards and things like that, and dealing with stalkers and whatnot. Not everybody wants that kind of life. Personally, my dream house was never bigger than 4 bedrooms. I wanted 2 stories when I was little. Just a small, the old Victorian cottage style house. Never wanted huge. And then my grandmother moved because of stairs, and that got me thinking too, maybe 1 story would be best, and I wouldn't have to worry about moving when I get old and I can't handle stairs anymore. I think I'm rambling off topic now. So let's go ahead and get to our messages for the cards, right? Just the energies that are at play today. On the bottom level here, we still have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So the King of Wands has the treasure on top right here, and this is about pirating, and this is about pilfering other people's goods, stealing other people's goods, hiding other people's goods. He's still a passionate person. This card is similar to this. It's like, what? Oh, well, this is. I'm not a pirate. I'm a privateer, right? So it's still a similar energy. It's like, what? And I'm really finding this is that a lot of people recognize, especially on the 3D level, that a lot of the information that a lot of us share, we've received it from someplace else. This is knowledge we sought from someplace else. It's not our own knowledge, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Even with my past life readings and things like that, I'm still pulling from the Akashic records. It's not my knowledge. I'm pulling it from someplace else. So it's just be mindful of how you present yourself. Right. The privateer has permission. The privateer has permission to do what they do. The pirate doesn't. Okay. I do got the 6 of Cups in between those 2 energies, though, so it's a lot of nostalgic and good times there. Got the 2 of Cups. It is a good connection. Even though, for whatever reason, there's still a wall in between the 2 energies. I don't know. I don't see anybody really being angry on that line or irritated or bothered by the mirroring connection. because I know that does start to annoy people when you see similar things playing out. When you're mirroring somebody really hard, like literally, like, and especially with social media, and I say this all the time, before you wouldn't even be able to notice, but when you can notice that you're mirroring somebody all the damn time, like you have an experience and then you see that they had almost the identical experience, and it'll drive you insane after a while. But I see that everybody's starting to finally balance out in that. And like, y'all, we are not the only groups that have been going through this thing. A lot of people have been coming to this. This is kind of part of the awakening. It's how people realize we all are one, right? Now, this is in the past energy. It's still some codependent issues that people are dealing with here. And almost like you're futilely fighting a connection. Like the only reason the connection even got toxic is because you were fighting it to begin with, futilely. It's time to balance out, right? Fighting the connection is just as toxic as accepting a toxic connection, right? It's weird. You got to balance it out. You got to figure out a way to balance the connection. And it's not just, you can't just send love, light energy, whatever. Because if they're sending toxic back and you're sending love to them, that's not a balanced connection. You got to figure out how to balance it out, how to release it without attaching any type of other emotion to it. Just, I don't know. Wish them happiness, but don't try to own them. Stop owning the connection as something you're in control of. Does that make sense? That's how you kind of release it. It's like an acceptance of it. It's there. We're all connected. We're all part of the web, but you're in control of what you're putting into it. Balance out your own energy, and the cords attached to you will either balance out or break off. The star card. Continue to still look for those synchronicities. Continue to still, look for those confirmations for your past. Look for your angel numbers. Well, look for your, whatever signs it is that you use. Keep working on them. Keep looking for them. Keep embracing them. The Emperor here. Don't be a spoiled brat, which is what a lot of people do when they come into these strong energies. Is they immediately go for it, like I said, as much as they can get from it, right? And they think that they're in super control of every minute detail of everything. And then, it really should, with all the political stuff going on, show you that the Emperor really is not in control as much as you think they're in control of. What? They are dependent, like I said, even in the first sets of cards, they are dependent on other people to maintain a lot of their stuff. The Emperor has, in order to be the empire of anything, you have to have a staff. The Emperor's wife is control of the home. The Emperor's general controls the armies. The Emperor's, treasurer controls the money. The Emperor is really not in control of a whole lot, except that he is the final say on what to do with things. But in general, everybody else handles the details. That's a whole lot of trust you got to be able to put out there. That's why absolute power corrupts, absolutely. But you start to get paranoid. So just be mindful of that, all right? Be mindful of what you're actually in control of. And, try to find that balance between flow and control. All right, we got the High Priestess coming into your own power. This is the High D message for the day. Keep seizing on your own power. Keep controlling your own power. Remember, leaps of faith, no leaps of doubt. Make sure that you are, he still packed the bag. He still has a flower. Dude did look like he had a plan. He wasn't just leaping off into nothing, right? But understand, every time you make a big change, there is conflicts, but conflicts come with resolutions, and it's usually to problems that we had been ignoring. So don't look at conflicts as something to be avoided. They're blowing up my phone again this morning. Stop it. All right, so we still got the Devil card again, followed by the Eight of Cups. And this comes back to, don't, just because you have a strong connection with somebody doesn't mean you need to try to control it or allow it to control you. You are allowed to walk away from these connections. You are not obligated to respond to toxic connections, regardless of what the connection is. Trust me, I understand this. A lot of it, a lot of the most toxic bond here is the parental drama, right? If you've had a kid with someone who is, you had a toxic relationship with, those are some of the hardest chords to deal with, because you can't just act like it never happened. But I got walking, talking proof that this happened. And at the same time, when you spend so many years with the person, you can't just act like all those years of your life didn't exist. But it's a matter of feeding the connection. You don't want these connections to be an anchor for you, keeping you from being able to move forward. It's like acknowledging your age, or acknowledging a disability, or acknowledging an injury. I talk about that with yoga a lot. It's all about honoring your body and where your body is at, and not hurting yourself to achieve some impossible goal. You have to learn how to accept where these connections are too. You have to do this on a spiritual level. You have to be able to accept what you can handle emotionally from people. And if it knocks you off balance every time and you need more time to work through it. Morning, Mike. Yay, 143, shout out. You guys are so cute. I love you two so much. You're like the sweetest couple I've ever seen. Well, one of them. I definitely love you guys. And that's it too. I would say too, for you guys, because you guys are in here and you're such an awesome couple. It's like, even in a relationship, you have to have the give and flow and accept certain things from your partner and things of that nature. That's really why we always say watch out for superficial relationships, watch out for things of that nature, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if your partner is going to become severely injured for a period of time, and you don't know, what if you melt my face off grilling, one day, I splattered grease all over my face and ruined my face. I need to know that Rob's going to love me, whether, I get cancer and my hair falls out and things of that nature. When a relationship is just superficial, then it will always have that fear pinned to it. That's not love energy. That's the difference between love and lust. You fall in love with somebody for their personality, their mind, how they think, things of that nature. You don't fall in love with them just for their physical form. I mean, granted, that's usually how it starts. Physical form and romance is how you guys attract each other. But if it never goes beyond that, it's never going to go anywhere. I know she told me she's finally off bed rest. I'm so happy for you two. Get some fresh air, some sunshine. But don't push yourself. All right? I do have downcast pride, and that's what really been a big thing we've been talking about too, right? Don't be too prideful to admit where you are in life, who you are in life, and, what you can and cannot do yourself. Don't push yourself too far. You don't want to get back in bed rest, that's for sure. But definitely, embrace what you can do now, right? That's the balance there. Embrace what you can do, accept what you can't do, and then you just keep kind of moving forward. Keep that balance on the balance beam. I do still got solitude, but this solitude is still going to help you focus and invoke your own strength and power, right? And it's like the same with the divine timing and synchronicities. I mean, thank goodness, this whole bed rest thing for you was during all this COVID nonsense, right? You were stuck in bed, but we were all grounded to our houses too, so you weren't alone stuck in that situation too much. We've all been, stuck. I am so glad. I love getting confirmations that people paths are moving along. I'm so glad everything went well for y'all. What magic card should we get from the day before I roll out on y'all? I'm so happy. It's wonderful news to start the day with. I've never been stuck down for more than about 2 weeks. So I couldn't imagine. I've had friends that went through that with pregnancies though, where they were bedridden for like the last 5 months of their pregnancy. They were stuck in bed. It is. I will say, yeah. There's nothing than having to surrender yourself to that level, humbling yourself to that you can't do anything, and you have to allow someone else to do it for you. And I love that he stepped up and he was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it." My grandfather's the same way. Like when my grandmother went for her back surgery and stuff like that, he did everything, hand and foot. I was like, and that's it. Well, she's been taking care of him for, she's 60 years. Yeah, bed rest is no joke, man. It's been a lot of heavy energy. It's been a lot of grounding. I'm glad I could help you guys out, man. Definitely consider y'all friends. But everybody is on target, right? On target with our life paths and perseverance for sure. The motivation to keep going despite all the odds. I think that sums it up awesomely. All right, y'all. I'm going to roll the dice to see what past life reading I'm going to do today. Ooh. Nope, that one. Sagittarius. Aren't they so cute? Dude, I thought about quitting Cards and Coffee there for a while, and he actually went through all the trouble of stalking me down on Facebook. So that I could come on here, and that's when they told me that she was on bed rest and she was going through a lot, and then I was like, oh no. I was like, all right. And that's why I tell people, I was like, you talk about what to take control of and what to let go of, and how do you figure out what's what. Every time I go to let go of doing this, someone reaches out for me and asks me to keep going. And really, that's why I've kept going all these years so far. And that's why I switched Cards and Coffee over to this smaller channel, and I'm just doing the past lives and basic things over here so I can be more personable with you guys over here, because you guys open up to me and get personal with me, so it's the least I can do is be as personal with you guys as I can. But I don't like being fined by a lot of people. I'm not trying to be super duper famous. A lot of my actual goals in life have nothing to do with YouTube. My actual goals, I don't really project a lot, and I don't tell a lot of people about, because I actually want them to come to fruition. Like when I put out goals about YouTube and things like that, it's like, it's kind of almost giving people that are against me something to target their hate against. So while they're focused on trying to bring down my YouTube and trying to bring down my Facebook and trying to cause drama on those levels, I've been working on all kinds of shit in the actual 3D world, so that if the internet crashes, my family's going to be fine. YouTube goes out, my family's going to be fine. While everybody else was doing month-to-month, day-to-day planning, I've been doing year planning. I'm planning my retirement and shit over here, guys. I went for a long term. When I found out you can manifest anything you want in your future, I immediately envisioned what I wanted to be doing at 65 years old. And that's where I have been taking my steps. YouTube and stuff was more of an experiment, and I'm glad I did it because I love you guys. You guys have been hugely inspired me, and then definitely helped me embrace my gifts more than I ever thought I could. Mm-hmm. And I told other people when our paths split, I was like, look, y'all, I'm glad y'all are catching. I told one of my friends last year around this time. I was like, I'm glad you took the paths you did and everything else, but I'm not catching the portal this time. I'm gonna catch the portal. I got 5 years. I'm gonna catch this portal that just opened 2 years ago for some people. I'm gonna catch it again in about 5 years. I told them 7 years. I'm gonna catch that portal. Think I was playing. People act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Cassandra's curse. What? The gift of prophecy, but nobody believes you. I appreciate the positive feedback so much. I'm glad I helped you guys out. All right, I am going to run off. I'm going to go do my walkies, and then I'm going to come back here, do that past life reading, and that'll probably, you can check over there. It'll probably be up in about an hour or two. It just won't notify until the video's done processing. For some reason, I record in mid-morning, and it doesn't finish processing until like 9 o'clock at night, at 10 o'clock at night, and then it pops up. But it'll be up. If it's not up this evening, like I said, it'll be up this afternoon if you wanted to look for it, or the notification will come out this evening, or catch it tomorrow. I love you guys. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and windy paths with me. I'll catch you guys in the morning.